What if I told you that sitting inside your grocery store right now, probably in the produce aisle you walk past every single week, there are vegetables so powerful, so scientifically proven, that they can literally change the way your body fights disease at a cellular level, and not just any disease. I'm talking about cancer, diabetes, heart disease, chronic inflammation, the very conditions that are quietly killing millions of people every year. I'm Dr. Robert Walker, and in over 2 decades of practicing medicine, I've seen a lot of patients spend thousands of dollars on supplements, on treatments, on medications, when some of the most powerful healing tools on the planet cost less than $2 a pound at your local market. Today I'm going to share with you the top 4 vegetables that the science says, not opinion, not trend, but peer-reviewed, published research, are among the most potent natural allies your body has in the fight against cancer and chronic disease. And I promise you, by the time we get to number 1, you are going to be shocked. So stay with me, because this information could genuinely change your life. Let's start by understanding something important. Cancer and most chronic diseases don't just happen overnight. They develop slowly, over years, as the result of a process called oxidative stress combined with chronic inflammation. Think of oxidative stress like rust forming inside your body. Every day, your cells are under attack from what we call free radicals, unstable molecules created by things like processed food, pollution, stress, and even normal metabolic processes. When free radicals outnumber your body's defenses, they start damaging your DNA. They start disrupting normal cell signaling, and when DNA damage accumulates in the wrong cells, that's when cancer can begin to take hold. Now here's the critical question. What stops that process? What gives your immune system the ammunition it needs to fight back? The answer, time and time again, comes back to what you eat, and these 4 vegetables are at the very top of that list. Let's begin with number 4. And this one is going to surprise a lot of you. It's broccoli. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, yes, I know broccoli is healthy, I want you to hear me out, because what most people don't know is why broccoli is almost frighteningly powerful. Broccoli belongs to a family of plants called cruciferous vegetables, and inside broccoli there is a compound called sulforaphane. When you chew raw broccoli or lightly steam it, an enzyme called myrosinase converts a precursor compound into sulforaphane, and that is where the real magic happens. A landmark study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that sulforaphane can actually target and destroy cancer stem cells. These are the particularly dangerous cells that are resistant to conventional chemotherapy and are responsible for cancer coming back after treatment. The study showed that sulforaphane reduced the number of breast cancer stem cells by up to 65%. Let me say that again, up to 65%. And this wasn't just one study. Research from Johns Hopkins University, where sulforaphane was first discovered, has consistently shown that this compound activates what are called phase 2 detoxification enzymes in the liver. Enzymes that essentially help your body neutralize carcinogens and flush them out before they can damage your DNA. One practical tip I give all my patients: lightly steam your broccoli, don't boil it to mush, because high heat destroys myrosinase. Or better yet, eat some of it raw. And here's a pro tip most people don't know. Sprinkle a tiny bit of mustard seed powder on steamed broccoli. Mustard seed contains its own myrosinase, which dramatically increases sulforaphane absorption. Small changes, enormous impact. Now let's move to number 3, and this is where I want you to lean in, because this vegetable has one of the most compelling cancer-fighting stories in all of nutritional science. I'm talking about garlic. And I know what some of you are thinking, garlic isn't really a vegetable, but botanically and nutritionally, it absolutely is, and it deserves its place on this list more than almost anything else. Garlic contains a compound called allicin, which is released when you crush or chop a raw garlic clove and allow it to sit for about 10 minutes before cooking. That 10-minute waiting period is critically important, and I'll explain why in just a moment. The World Health Organization's dietary guidelines for promoting health actually recommend a daily intake of 2 to 5 grams of fresh garlic. That's roughly 1 clove. specifically for its protective effects against disease. A major analysis published in the journal Cancer Prevention Research looked at over 27 independent studies and found that people with the highest garlic consumption had a significantly reduced risk of colorectal cancer compared to those with the lowest consumption. Another study from the National Cancer Institute found associations between garlic consumption and reduced risk of stomach, esophageal, pancreatic, and breast cancers. Now here's the science behind it. Allicin and its derivative compounds, including ajoine and diallyl sulfide, have been shown to induce something called apoptosis in cancer cells. Apoptosis is essentially programmed cell death. It's how your body naturally eliminates damaged or abnormal cells. Cancer cells, by their very nature, have found ways to bypass apoptosis. They refuse to die. Compounds in garlic essentially override that bypass and force those cancer cells back into a self-destruction sequence. Now about that 10-minute rule, when you crush garlic and expose it to air, the enzyme alliinase converts alliin into allicin. But if you throw garlic straight into a hot pan without letting it rest, heat destroys that enzyme before it can complete the conversion, and you lose a significant amount of the beneficial compounds. 10 minutes at room temperature before cooking. That one habit could make an enormous difference in the nutritional value you're actually getting from your garlic. And garlic doesn't stop at cancer prevention. Studies have also shown that it reduces LDL cholesterol, lowers blood pressure, and has powerful antimicrobial properties. This is truly one of nature's most versatile medicines. We're at number 2 now, and this vegetable is one that I call the silent protector, because it works quietly, deep inside your cells, in ways that most people never think about. It's spinach. Now, spinach is rich in so many nutrients that it's almost difficult to know where to start. It contains folate, which is essential for DNA synthesis and repair. It's loaded with carotenoids, particularly lutein, zeaxanthin, and beta-carotene, which are powerful antioxidants that mop up those free radicals we talked about earlier. But what really sets spinach apart in the conversation about cancer and disease is its exceptionally high concentration of something called MGDG and SQDG, monogalactosyl diacylglycerol and sulfoquinovosyl diacylglycerol. Those are long names, I know. But what you need to know is that researchers at Osaka Prefecture University in Japan found that these compounds inhibit an enzyme called DNA polymerase alpha, which is the same enzyme that cancer cells rely on to replicate their DNA and divide. In other words, these compounds in spinach literally interrupt the cancer cell's ability to copy itself and multiply. Beyond cancer, spinach is remarkably protective against cardiovascular disease. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that people who ate spinach and other leafy greens daily had a significantly lower risk of heart disease, largely because of the high nitrate content in spinach, which improves blood vessel flexibility and lowers blood pressure. Spinach also contains a compound called camphorol, a flavonoid that a large study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found to be associated with a 40% reduction in the risk of ovarian cancer among women who consumed it regularly. 40%. From a leafy green that costs almost nothing. And here's something most people don't know. Cooking spinach actually increases the bioavailability of certain nutrients like beta-carotene and iron, while eating it raw maximizes folate. So ideally, you want to eat spinach in both forms regularly. Mix it into smoothies, saute it lightly in olive oil, add it to soups, eggs, pasta. The options are endless. And now we've arrived at number 1, the vegetable that, in my professional opinion, backed by a growing and extraordinary body of scientific evidence, is the single most powerful, cancer-fighting, disease-healing vegetable you can eat. And that vegetable is beets. I can see some of you weren't expecting that. Beets. Those deep, dark red root vegetables that most people either love or avoid. And I completely understand if beets haven't been a big part of your diet, but after you hear what I'm about to tell you, I think that's going to change. Beets get their extraordinary dark red color from a class of pigments called betalains, specifically beta-cyanins and beta-xanthins. These are not just beautiful pigments. They are among the most powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compounds found anywhere in the plant kingdom. A study published in the journal Molecules found that beta-cyanins, the primary pigments in red beets, inhibit tumor cell growth in human colon, stomach, lung, and breast cancer cell lines. Another study published in the European Journal of Nutrition found that beet juice extract suppressed the growth of prostate and breast cancer cells by over 50% in laboratory conditions. Now, laboratory conditions are different from a living human body, and I always want to be transparent about that distinction. But combined with population studies and the extraordinary mechanistic evidence we have, the picture is very compelling. Here's what else beets do that most people are completely unaware of. Beets are exceptionally high in nitrates, natural nitrates, not the synthetic kind found in processed meats. In your body, those natural nitrates are converted to nitric oxide, which is a molecule that does something remarkable. It relaxes and dilates your blood vessels, dramatically improving circulation and reducing blood pressure. A landmark study from Queen Mary University of London found that drinking just 1 cup of beet juice per day lowered blood pressure in hypertensive patients by an average of 8 points systolic, a reduction that's comparable to some blood pressure medications. This improved circulation also means more oxygen and more immune cells being delivered to every tissue in your body, including tissues that need to fight off abnormal cell growth. Beets are also one of the richest dietary sources of betaine, a compound that helps protect your cells from environmental stress and plays a critical role in a process called methylation, which is essentially how your body turns genes on and off. Proper methylation is profoundly important in cancer prevention because one of the hallmarks of cancer development is abnormal methylation patterns that silence tumor suppressor genes. Betaine from beets helps support healthy methylation and keep those protective genes active. And beyond all of that, beets are high in fiber, folate, manganese, and vitamin C, nutrients that collectively support your immune system, your digestive health, and your body's ability to detoxify. You can roast them, juice them, slice them raw into salads, or blend them into smoothies. If you've been avoiding beets because of their earthy taste, try roasting them with a little olive oil and sea salt. You'll be amazed at how sweet and delicious they become. So let's bring this all together, because I want you to leave today with something actionable. Number 4, broccoli, and its sulforaphane compounds that destroy cancer stem cells and activate your liver's detoxification enzymes. Eat it lightly steamed or raw, and use that mustard powder trick to maximize absorption. Number 3, garlic, with its allicin and sulfur compounds that induce apoptosis in cancer cells, protect your heart, and fortify your immune system. Crush it, let it sit 10 minutes, then cook. Number 2, spinach, a nutritional powerhouse containing compounds that interrupt cancer cell replication, protect your cardiovascular system, and deliver a remarkable array of antioxidants and folate that your DNA literally needs to stay healthy. And number 1, beets, with their extraordinary betalain pigments, their blood pressure lowering nitrates, and their betaine compounds that support the very genetic mechanisms your body uses to suppress cancer. Now here is my honest medical perspective on all of this. These vegetables are not a replacement for medical care. If you have been diagnosed with cancer or any serious disease, please work with your physician and your oncology team. What I am telling you is that the evidence is overwhelming. Diet is one of the most powerful modifiable risk factors we have for cancer and chronic disease. The American Cancer Society estimates that roughly 18% of all cancers in the United States are related to poor diet and physical inactivity. That means they are preventable. What you put on your plate every day is not a trivial decision. It is medicine. It is information that you are sending to your cells, to your DNA, to your immune system. And the research tells us clearly that these 4 vegetables, broccoli, garlic, spinach, and beets, belong in your diet as consistently and as abundantly as possible. I want you to start this week, not next month, not when things settle down, this week. Add one of these 4 vegetables to your daily meals. See how you feel, build the habit. Your body has an extraordinary capacity to heal and to protect itself when you give it the right tools. If you found this information valuable, and I truly hope you did, please hit that like button right now, because it tells YouTube to share this with more people who genuinely need to hear it. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss a video, because every week I bring you science-backed, doctor-verified health information that is designed to empower you to take real control of your health. And the video I want you to watch next is the one where I break down the top 5 foods that are secretly destroying your immune system. Foods that most health-conscious people are eating every single day without realizing the damage they're causing. That video is going to open your eyes in a serious way, so make sure you watch it after this. I'm Dr. Robert Walker. Thank you for trusting me with your health. Stay curious, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.